Hello and welcome back once again to Cody's Radio Workshop. This should just be a short one, and I just want to quickly talk about the PP9 batteries I used in a lot of vintage, particularly transistor sets. These things used to be available in all sorts of different flavours, like Panasonic and Everready, and they still are to an extent, but they are all essentially the same battery, and they are all made in the same factory, and they all have exactly the same stamping on the bottom, so it is just branding. Now these batteries nowadays in the UK are around about £3.50 to £4.50 each. If you look online, they're £5, £6, £7 each on popular auction sites. But aside from these ones that I bought particularly cheap, I bought these from Screwfix. I bought rather a lot of them because they were selling them off at 49p each because they had a short life. It's not really worth my while to keep going out and buying batteries at £3 or £4 a time. So what I do now is I take the existing battery apart and just modify it so that I'll never have to buy another PP9 again. I have, and I've been keeping the spent batteries, the voltage expired batteries, on one side for quite some time, and I've built up quite a collection of them. So I'm just going to go through now and show you how easy it is never to have to buy another PP9 battery again. Luckily, around the top it is just sealed with usually the lightest of adhesives, and you'll need your trusty spudger. There's mine. It's a few years old now, and I've repaired the grip part of it a few times, but obviously the blade is still good. There are other brands of spudger available, like these ones. I tried using this one. I got this one from Amazon. Well, I got several of them from Amazon, but they aren't as good as my original one. They're still good, and they're only a few quid anyway, but super useful, because what I'll do is you dig the spudger into the seam along the top of the battery, and then just work it round and lever and lift. And that is about it. And then once you've got the battery open, there's always a piece of Chinese card inside. Then just tear a piece off just to cover the terminal. I mean, I have volt tested this, and I will just show you that it is spent. I think we're down to about 6 volts, so that's why it's not useful for what I need it for. That's more like what we want. 4.4 volts. So that one can come apart. Pop the meter out of the way, and again just work the spudger into the seam. This one's a little tougher actually, but once you get going in the seam, it does get a little easier. Well, this one is actually tough. I've not had one beat me yet. There, I think we're kind of in there. There we go. That's popped. So now I can just work the spudger in the seam around. Must have had a new batch of glue on the day they made this one. Right. Spudgers are fantastic tools, really, and useful for opening all sorts of things. So there's that piece of card again that I told you about. This one's a little bit different. That says something about cheese. And then a spudger into the battery stack just to make sure it's loose, and tip upside down. Piece of cardboard comes out of the bottom. That's completely empty now. There's the stack. That used to be the good battery. I'm going to snip the terminals. Dispose of the stack sensibly, and then you're just left with the two terminals on the top and the wire underneath. And what I like to do is cut them around about the same length and then strip the wire back, he says, looking for his wire stripper. Just pare some of that wire back, and the same on the other one. Yeah, that needs a little bit more. This has altered somewhat. Just get the pitch adjusted on the wire stripper. That's better. So now they're not the same length, but not so far off, so I will pare that one back a little bit as well, and then trim it back. Give them a twist. And they are ready now for introducing the PP3 battery snaps. There's plenty of wire on these ones, so I'm going to chop those back too, around about the same length each. And useful little bits of link wire there for my junk drawer. And then we'll pair these back as well. That's one, and do the other one. And give them a twist. Get some flux. Put some flux onto the other side, and the other battery snap. Grab some solder. And how I do it, I get the two PP3 snaps, twist those together, get some solder onto those. Let's bring you in a little. get those soldered together. Put some solder onto the terminals, onto the bed wires that we've just prepared. And then, this is my least favourite bit. Let's get back out a little. I put a little bit of heat shrink sleeve in and push it right back out of the way. These are just the scraps that I keep in a tidy tray. Try not to throw anything away that's going to be useful. And then we'll just float those connections together. Put the heat shrink over the joint. A couple of different methods I use for shrinking the heat shrink. Sometimes I just use the back of the well, I use the shaft on the soldering iron, but I also have this. It's a creative, well, it's a craft tool. It comes with all sorts of different brands. And there's a model number on there if anybody wants to look this particular one up, but they're all over places like Amazon. And it's just a craft heat gun. Just gets hot really quick, easy to manage. It means I don't have to get the big heat gun out. It gets up to temperature really quickly. Just make sure that we cover those joins. And that's that. Take the heat gun out of the way. So that is now ready to accept batteries, which here are some I prepared earlier. I've got one already open and one still sealed. Hate trying to open these, so we'll go for the bladed approach. There we go, pop that in the bin. Got the two PP3 batteries now. Connect up and connect the other one. These, you can use some foam packing inside there, it stops them rattling about, but essentially that, try the lid the other way, that is that. And then the last thing that I like to do is bob some insulation tape around the top to stop the top coming away. And then you've got a rejigged battery that hasn't cost you the earth, and you haven't had to go out and buy another PP3. And just fold the end over there, and then that makes it easier to remove it when you're changing the batteries at a later date. Having two PP3 batteries inside these, I mean I do have these with double A's inside as well, but having two PP3 batteries inside makes them comparable power wise to the original PP9, if not better. So we'll just do a volt test on that now. I'm expecting around about 9.5 volts. Yeah. 9.9 volts-ish, thereabouts. So there we are. There, you've just saved yourself a few quid, because the PP3 batteries, you know, are a lot cheaper than the PP9 batteries, and we've got two PP3s inside the original case, so you're saving a bit of plastic here from landfill, and you can probably use this now forever and a day. Thanks very much for watching, only a short one. Catch you next time.